Hey everybody, thanks for checking us out. This is the very first edition of Gear Talk Tuesdays. So every Tuesday we're going to pull a different piece of gear. We're going to maybe look at some of the technical aspects behind it, but also where I use it, how I use it. So to get started, we're going to do something very simple today. I have invested in a really good pair of hiking boots. My old boots were kind of beat. They lasted for about 7 years, and so it was time for an upgrade. They do have a Gore-Tex liner, so they are already waterproof, but I want to treat the leather so that it's not going to crack. It's going to help it to still breathe, and it's going to add another level of weatherproofness to it. So to make this happen, obviously you need the boots. You need some sort of all-season leather protection. I really like Snow Seal, just so you can see what it looks like. This is a green product. It's all natural, I believe. There's no chemical fillers that are going to hurt your leather. And the other thing we need is a hair dryer or something to warm the boot. The reason we need to warm the boot is leather is very porous. So warming it up will allow the pores to open, and it'll help to bond that to the weatherproofing that you're using. So the process that I do for this is I'm going to warm up the boot. I'm going to apply some of the weatherproofing to it. I'm going to do that 2 or 3 times to make sure that I've got good saturation and coverage all over the boot. Once I've done that, I'm going to let it sit for maybe about a half an hour, and then I'm just going to come back and buff out the rest of the wax or anything that's on the surface of the boot to make it look nice and shiny. So just to give you guys a demonstration, I'm going to warm it up. It doesn't have to be too warm, just warm to the touch. And then I'm going to rub on my waterproof treatment. You can see almost immediately that it's bonding to the boot. It's starting to melt and go into all the grooves and things like that. I really like to work it in there and make sure I have good coverage. And that's it. Like I said, I'm going to do that a couple of times to make sure I've got it all over the place. I'm going to let it sit for about a half an hour to really let that absorb and bond, and then I'm going to come back and buff out any of the remaining product that's sitting on the boot. So that's it for our first edition of Gear Talk Tuesdays. I would love to have, love it if you guys leave a comment and let me know what works for you in the past to make sure that your boots are waterproof and that your feet are doing well out on the hike. Thanks again for checking us out.